A warm welcome to all. Myself Devika Dilip. The topic we are going to discuss is Working Hours under Factories Act 1948. Labor is an important element of industry. Labor cannot be ignored for the capital, the amount the labor shall do more work. The procedure shall be increased in the same amount, but the labor cannot be made to do tremendous labors. This may decrease the efficiency of the laborer. Working hours is nothing but the hours for which the worker or employee under a job. It can be on a daily basis, weekly basis, or monthly basis. Earlier, the job description was centered around the pay or the salary. But now, since the quality of the work is also important for the workers, the aspect of working plays an important role in deciding to opt for a job or not. In order to protect the workers from the exploitation of the factory owners in respect of working hours, the Factories Act 1948 states some provisions related to it. In Factories Act 1948, Chapter 6, from Section 51 to Section 66, deals with working hours in a factory. So, the working hours provisions under Factories Act 1948 are: Section 51 deals with weekly hours. This section lays down the maximum limit on working time for a worker in a factory on a weekly basis. It states that no factory would ask the workers or make them work for more than 48 hours a week. Section 52 deals with weekly holidays. This section states that no adult worker shall be required or allowed to work in a factory on the first day of the week. But this provision applies subject to certain conditions. Firstly, he has to or will have a holiday for the whole day on 1 or 3 days immediately before or after the relevant day. Secondly, the manager of the factory has before the said day or the subsequent day under the clause. Section 53 deals with compensatory holidays. This section states that if in any case the factory in under any provision cuts off a holiday of the worker, then the factory is under due pressure to give the same number of holidays to the workers within the time period of 2 months. Section 54 states that deals with daily hours. It states that this section is nothing but the extension of Section 51. Keeping in view the weekly working hours limit prescribed by Section 51, this section states that the limit on a daily basis. It states that a factory should allow a worker to work for more than 9 hours per day. Section 55 deals with rest intervals. This section states that the maximum time for which a worker will work before the interval time period is 5 hours. The interval needs to be of a minimum half an hour. In certain cases, the state government may accept some factories from this limitation. In reality, the limitation is not removed but extended to 6 hours only. Section 56 deals with spread over. Looking at the human limitations in working, this section states that the period of work of an adult worker in a factory, including the intervals for rest, should not spread over more than 10.5 hours in a day. Section 57 deals with night shifts. This section provides certain clarifications for the questions related to the night shifts. It states that if any worker works after midnight, then the provisions of holidays of Section 52 and Section 53 will be applicable for 24 hours after his shift ends. Moreover, the extra hours after midnight will form part of the previous day only. Section 58 deals with provision of overlapping shifts. Work shall not be carried on in any manufactory by suggests that of a system of shifts thus organized that quite one relay of staff is engaged in work of the same kind at the same time. The regime, or subject to the management of the regime, the chief inspector, may by written order or for the reasons specified therein, except on such conditions as in also deemed expedient. Any factory or class or description of factories or any department or section of a factory or any category or description of workers therein from the provisions of subsection 1. Section 59 deals with overtime and extra wages. This section rewards those workers who are trying to work for more than the maximum time. It states that those workers who work for more than 9 hours a day or 48 hours weekly, he or she is entitled to be paid a double wage rate than the ordinary wage rate for the extra time. The ordinary wage rate includes only the basic salary and the allowances. It does not include the bonus and other perks. Moreover, the factories need to maintain proper registers for the detail of the extra time of the workers and the payment made to them. Section 60 deals with double employment. This section states that no worker is allowed or required to work for more than one factory in a day. In other words, if a worker is working in a factory on a day, then he cannot work for another factory on the same day. Section 61 deals with notice of periods of work for adults. This section states that the factory manager should paste a notice on the wall of the factory about the time period of the work for the workers. Moreover, the manager has to comply with the time limiting sections like section 52. In case the workers don't have to work at the same time, then the manager should specify the time of their work and timing of their work. Section 62 deals with register of workers. This section states that the manager of the factory to maintain a register about the details of the workers of the factory. It includes name of the workers, work nature, specific formal groups of the workers, etc. Moreover, no worker can work in the factory unless his or her name is given in the register. Section 66 deals with further restrictions on the employment of women. The provision of this chapter shall, in their application to women in factories, be supplemented by the following further restrictions. They are: no exception from the provision of section 54 is also granted in respect to of any woman. No lady shall be required or allowed to figure in any factory except between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 p.m., provided that the government may by notification within the official gazette in respect of any industrial plant or cluster or category or description of factories vary the boundaries arranged down in clause B. However, so no such variation shall authorize the utilization of any lady between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 p.m. Also, there shall be no modification of shifts except when a weekly vacation or the other vacation. The government could bind rules providing for the exception from the restrictions kicked off in subsection 1 to such extent and subject to such conditions as it may prescribe of ladies operating in fish curing or fish canning factories. Wherever the use of ladies on the far side, the hours laid out in the same restrictions is important to stop injury to or deterioration in any raw material. In Workwomen of the Motipur Sugar Factory Private Limited versus Motipur Sugar Factory Private Limited. It's a 1965 case. In this case, where the workers of the factory urged the court to allow a rest period under Section 55, which was accepted by the government of Bihar under Section 64, for the purpose of handling and crushing the cane. The workers were subject to the conditions as per the state government's new rules that they were only allowed to take light refreshments or light meals at a place of their employment only. Thus, as the rules were made under Section 64, it was held that the cane operations were exempted from Section 55, subject to the conditions mentioned by the government of Bihar. So, the claim of workers that they need to have a 30 minutes rest per shift was set aside as Section 54. And Section 65 is special provisions which give the state government power to accept certain provisions as it deems fit for the factories to deal with the essential press of work. So the Supreme Court in this case held that the workers are allowed to take a few minutes break in turn in each shift so that the work does not stop. Since if the court allows any 30 minutes rest period, the average crushing speed will be reduced to 31,000 mOs per day. The current factory site in operation has given significant advantage to the factory workers. It has significantly bettered their working and employment conditions. The government is effectively considering the acquittance of some vital amendments to the Act to keep it in line with the time and make it progressively viable while managing the obligations of the occupier and factory managers under Factories Act 1948.